All right, welcome to the Agent Mastermind class. We are here for another beautiful Tuesday, and I am here with the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Scott Hudspeth, marketing genius extraordinaire. How you doing today, Scotty?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, first off, I want to wish everybody a happy Bosses Day for all the bosses that are on the call today. I hope that you got a card or a balloon or, well, you know what? Let me just show you what I got. I got to do this. You guys mind if I take 2 seconds here? All right. So here's just 2 seconds what I received today, and they told me to wear it on class, but I'm like, okay, maybe not. So I got my little wings here to
Oh,
wear. Is that cute?
that is awesome.
And
Because
I
you're
got my
super
little
boss?
little balloons and stuff. And this is probably my favorite. Now I might just give this away. I'm gonna like how about that? Ooh,
A
isn't
little boa.
that cool?
Nice.
Little boa, yeah. So so that's where we're at on that. Let's get started. I know you guys showed up, and your time is very important. So let's do this. All right. So we are going to, and if you're listening to this as a recording, sorry we had to celebrate Happy Bosses Day to you, and I hope you're having a good day. So, getting in control of today's information overload. Now, 50 ways to use Evernote in your real estate business. I'm probably not going to get through all 50. I'm probably going to get through a couple of them. But there's just, as you start using this, it's a free software, nothing to buy. I actually paid for the paid version. It's like $45 a year, but it's not necessary. Paul, I mean, you have had it forever. You've never
I've
paid
been
for anything.
yeah, I've been using the free version. I was shown this I want to say in December of 2011, so I've only been using it
Okay.
about 8 months. And I use
Okay.
the free version, and I'll tell you everything that I need it for, and boy, do I use it quite often actually.
Excellent. And I just got my wife turned on to this. She has her own iPad. She has her own Droid. So I'm going, all right, let's get you organized. Let's get your to-do list and all the checklist stuff going. So just a couple ideas. What I want you to do is open your mind and like kind of remove everything from your thought pattern when it comes to being organized, and let this thing just kind of take a life of its own as you start to use it. But I want to give you some ideas to think about. Every customer, I know a lot of agents use this for every customer. The selling during the process, buyers during the process, MLS tours. Like, for example, like you're going to 10, like I know one agent that showed an ungodly amount of houses in one weekend. So it's like, how do you physically keep track of every single house, what the client said, what they like, what they don't like, and what their favorites were? So if you had Evernote, you would put in the address and make it a note. You would put in, you could record the conversation. You could write down, take notes of the conversation inside of each one of those notes, and then have that note a notebook. And I'm going to go over this as we go along. But, I mean, there's just no way to physically keep, I mean, unless you have pieces of paper, and then you got to look at all the papers. And then at the end on an MLS tour, you could actually email them the favorites of the ones they liked with the notes that go along with it, so they can review it along with pictures, along with audio transcript that you guys talked about, something that you wanted to record, all kinds of different stuff. Expenses, taxes, make a habit of saving everything. So like receipts that you, like when you go shopping, every expense you buy for tax season that you spend on your real estate business, events that you go to, events that you're going to attend, take notes on it. You can collaborate and share with the events and who's going, who's not, what you're bringing, what you're wearing, what time you're going to get there, what's the address to the motel, what's the phone number of the motel, do you have your reservations? I mean, there's just so much stuff that goes into it that you can share with people. Trips, vacations, tie in your mobile device. I mean, when you download this, if you don't have it already on your mobile device, it's crazy good. There's some really cool pictures I'm going to share with you on that.
The real
If
power, that's where the power of this whole platform, I mean, that's in my opinion it's where the power of Evernote comes from, is in the mobile ready and the way that it syncs and the way that you can use the
insane.
mobile devices and everything. I
Yeah.
mean, as soon as you turn your computer on, boom, it is there. And it's everything from voice notes to pictures to, I mean, you name it, it's there.
Yes. And the hardest part is going to be to accept change and train yourself. Just a new way of doing things, but God, it is so amazing when you have a computer, have a laptop, have an iPad, a phone, whatever it is you have, and it's every note you take, everything you record is everywhere. No matter where you're at, it's with you. It's I can't even tell you the feeling. It's so nice. Share with team members. Like for example, we're going to show you how to share with team members. So like when you're out in the field, you get a new listing. Before you're even back to the office, you can be sending pictures, information about the home, all kinds of different stuff because you're sharing with your team members or partner if you have one. Checklist, to-do list, kids' to-do list, you can share with them. I'm actually starting my kids on using it, so my daughter's starting college. It's like, how does she physically keep track of each one of her classes, all the notes in one place so that whether she's on her phone, iPad, or desktop or laptop or whatever, she has all that stuff for every class. And then, of course, she can share with her buddies in the class as well. So it's really cool to, hey, I missed that note, or I didn't get that, or, oh, thanks for, that type of stuff. This is probably one of my favorites because I am online all the time, is clips from websites. You want to either remember the link, you want to remember what was in the link, you want to remember a part of it, and you don't need it all. Maybe need a paragraph. Anything you want, you can clip from the website. And then
That's one of my favorite parts as well, because that makes
amazing.
it. I don't really care to save every doggone website that I like or get some good information from. I don't want to save that as a bookmark, because then you get a bookmark list that's like 700 websites long, and it defeats the purpose because now you got to search through all those bookmarks. I go and I save just the article, or just the picture, or just the picture and article, or specific part of the website that I find interesting, and I can always go back to that, and it keeps that link in there for me too. So if I do need to go back to the actual site, I've got it in my notes, and I don't have 6,000 bookmarks on my toolbar.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy because, again, whatever you save, it's like, God, how many times you get home and go, man, I wish I had that website. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And if you save it in Evernote, it's there on your phone. You can log into the web-based version. I never do it, but you can log into the web-based version of Evernote and have all your notes there. So it's endless. Document types, PDF, Word, PowerPoints, photos, videos. Everything you can think of needs to be in this thing. It's free. The paid version is like, I don't consider anything under $50 an expense, especially per year. It's like $50 for the whole year, okay? So I'm going to show you kind of some basics, and we're going to kind of really keep this basic today because I really, really, really want you to use this as your catch-all, like everything you're doing, so that you have everything at your fingertips. I should never call you and go, hey, can you give me that sales agreement that you just wrote on 123 Test Drive? And you should never have to say, okay, as soon as I get back to the office, I'll send it to you. Or as soon as I get home, I'll send it to you. I mean, wherever you're at. I mean, don't do it going down the road, but wherever you at, you should be able to pull this up on whatever device you have and send it to whoever needs it whenever they need it, okay? So if you do not have Evernote, what you need to do is go to evernote.com, and it's actually evernote.com/get-it. And what that does is it'll recognize what you're on right now, whether it's a PC or Mac. It works on both. And it will allow you to download this Evernote amazing system, okay? Evernote.com/get-it. And then install Evernote everywhere, your Mac, your PC, your everything you got, laptops, mobile phones on all types. This is the only thing that takes a little bit of time. Not really, because you just click download and it's there. On an iPad, it's just an app. You click it and download. Tablets, install on everything so that it's available everywhere that you need it, and I'm going to show you how to use this thing, okay? So these are kind of the first steps that you need to do. Don't try to, I mean, here's where most people get frustrated is they download it and they start trying to use it, and then they don't go through the basics of like how this thing works and really the mindset behind it. That's what I'm going to cover today because I really think that's the most important. So because there's no right or wrong way to use Evernote. The only wrong way is to not use it, okay? All right, so your Droid. Here's what it's going to look like when you go in here, and I'm just going to show you a couple of the examples. This is where it gets really, really cool. And I'm going to go over all this stuff in great detail, but I want to show you the Droid iPhone looks the same, but you have a new note, you have a snapshot so you can take pictures. The pictures are amazing through these new phones. Audio, say that I'm going down the road and I want to take an audio note because I want to remind myself to do something when I get home. Boom. The audio.
I'll tell you, you guys will, if you get to, if you on the call start using Evernote, you will find that audio note is such an absolutely versatile tool. You can be you could be at a listing and walking around making sure it's great because you've got an open house coming up in 2 weeks, and you want to make a note to remember to send the plumber out to fix the outside faucet handle. Boom, you just leave yourself a quick note. You don't have 6,000 tiny little pieces of paper and Post-it notes all over the place. You got one place that you go, very organized, very secure, and your notes are all right there. And the audio notes are awesome. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Scotty. On the paid version, you can actually convert an audio note to a text note.
You convert. There's a you know the cool thing about that is it doesn't actually. There's probably an add-on for that. I don't use it for that because kind of like Google Voice, it does it, but it's not quite good enough. So you can probably make out what it was. But when it's your own personal notes, it's just as easy. You can click play on your phone and just play it. Play it and go, okay, here's my note, here's what I said. Or when you get home, you can translate it into Word if you want to, if you really have to. But really, the bottom line is getting it down on some way, shape, or form, paper or Word that you remember to do it. I mean, that's the bottom line. Because otherwise, 3 days later, you're like, crap, I was supposed to do that, right? And it's always in front of your face. So I'm going to show you.
With this poll, we've got a good number of people that are using it, but a substantial number that are not using it. It's about a 60-40 mix right now.
Yeah, awesome. Good. Well, okay, good, man. I appreciate you guys voting. And I'm just going to close that out. I'm going to share the poll. Here we go. 34% say yes, 66. So we got a lot of people on the phone that good deal, man. All right. So is that off the screen now? You guys back on my screen?
You're not showing your screen, though.
I'm not sure my screen. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's weird that it shuts it off. Okay, cool.
There you go.
All right, so that's the Droid. Okay, so now I'm going to show you kind of what these different devices look like. The iPad, this is so cool in that when you first download the app on your iPad and you start building notes, it takes a little bit to sync. But if you don't have any notes in there, you have all notes, and this is every single note that I have, and it just scrolls down and down and down. And of course, it shows what it is, and then here's your notebooks, which. And I'm going to explain what notebooks are. And then here's your shared folders. I don't have any shared folders on my iPad. And then here is my tags. And I'm going to show you how cool tags can be so that you don't have to look through a million notes 2 years down the road looking for something. Like, for example, I took a picture of a filter that I need at my cottage for the furnace. I took a picture of it and put the tag as cottage filter. Or just cottage. So that way I can go really quickly and search cottage and have all the notes that I have of stuff that I got to do over the winter for my cottage. Make sense? I mean, it's simple stuff like this and not only that, I can share that folder with my wife so she can share that, she can see that I'm doing I got to replace this, I got to replace that, I got to do this, I got to do that. So, like, we're sharing the same thing of, like, we're organized and know exactly what others are doing. And then when
but it's
done,
something that you don't have to occupy your mind with anymore. You've saved yourself a note. You know it's going to show up. So now you can, you're not sitting there festering on the one thing. Here it is a Tuesday afternoon, and you're thinking about the filter. Oh, God, what was that filter I needed to get at the cottage? What was that? And you can't focus on the other tasks that you have going.
Yeah, I took a picture of the model number and exactly what I need to get, and I go get it. So it just makes it easy. And that was with my phone. Now, the other cool thing I like is offline notebooks. Now, when this comes in handy is, say you don't have internet, so you're going to a listing presentation, and you want to do the listing presentation, and for some reason you don't have internet, whatever happens. So what it does is it allows you to save all your notes as offline. So these are offline notebooks. So I have clients one here, or I have listing presentation I save offline. So it's also saved online and offline, but if I don't have it, I can still get to that note. All right? Make sense?
Yep.
All right. So here's where it gets fun, too. And we're going to get into this live demo. I'm going to go to Evernote and show you this stuff. Web clippers. This is the next thing you have to do. So first off, just kind of go to your Droid, go to your iPhone, download the app. Go to your iPad if you have one, download the app. Go to your Mac, PC, desktop, everything. Just make sure you have Evernote on your computer. And it's going to be one login and password, the same one on all different devices, okay? So when you sign up for it, there's no credit card, there's no nothing, it's free. You just go in, set up a login and password. It asks you a couple things, and put your name and information and stuff like that. That's it. So to get the web clipper, you want to do this on your PC and laptop, not so much on your phone and stuff like that. But when you're online, you want to go to evernote.com/web clipper. And there is, behind this, I kind of threw this picture up here, I shouldn't have. So behind this is it shows you if it's installed or not. And I was told it automatically installs it on Safari and Internet Explorer. You have to install it on Chrome and Safari or Firefox if you want it, okay? And I'm going to show you what that is.
It's real simple to do it. You just push one button, and if you're using Chrome or Firefox, you push one button. It adds that little elephant-looking thing that you have on the right-hand side of your screen. It adds that little guy to your toolbar, and so and Scott's going to show examples of how you would clip that. Really
Yeah. And
simple
here's
to
the cool
do. It
part.
is not a hard thing to do, by the way.
No, it's not. It's easy. It's easy. So, in fact, it does it for you. But if you have some other browser that is not Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, it has bookmarklets that you can use for other browsers of some sort. So if you're a real techie nerd type thing and you're using some fancy browser, you can use the bookmarklet that will allow you to still use Evernote in that browser, whatever it is. Okay.
For most people on this call, you're going to be using the Internet Explorer, the Google Chrome, or the Firefox extension.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that's there. All right, so tools and tabs. I'm just going to go, Paul, I'm going to go live. So we're going to come back to this, but I want to kind of show, yeah, I know, this is the scary part. So here's my Evernote dashboard, and here is kind of what it looks like. Let's move this out of the way. And here's a couple of things. When you first log in here, of course, you're not going to have any notes. You're not going to have anything here. You're going to have one note that shows you and tells you a little bit about Evernote. But here's what you want to do. You want to click on this little Tools tab right here. Everybody see that okay? All right, the first thing you want to do is click on the Tools tab and then click on Options. Okay? So what you want to do is either you want it to launch on when you first log into Windows or you don't. This is kind of a cool one. I don't know if you knew about this, Paul, but this allows you to download all the beta version for Evernote before it's actually released to the public for good. So you might get some crazy stuff going on, but I'm kind of like that. I like the new stuff to see what they're doing. So I have it checked to where I get pushed beta version before it's actually you'll ever see it. So if you like stuff like that, check it. If you don't, uncheck that, and you won't get anything that's not released or is in beta version. You won't get it. Okay. Automatically check for updates. I always want to do that, and you always want to keep it updated because they always add really cool stuff, new stuff. This one right here, you'll notice that how these windows sit up here. Like I have usage, share, new note, trunk, activity, all that stuff. If I click that and click save, it changes the kind of the look of it. So let me just show you what it does. Whoops. Did I do it? You see how it changes everything?
Yeah, it's more.
So it kind of makes it look different. So I personally don't like it like that. So depending on how you like it or how you like to do things, show standard window. So I'm going to uncheck that and save, and we'll go back to it. And here's the way I like it. So either way is good. So there's the options tab. And then show advertisements. This is the only way you can turn off the advertisements is if you have the paid version. And the only advertisement you have is right down here in the left-hand corner.
It is. I didn't even notice it for the. I didn't even notice it for the first 4 or 5 months I was using it, and somebody pointed out, oh, the advertisements by? I'm like, where do you see an advertisement? And then I realized on the bottom left down there it was an advert. It literally is out of vision. It's not something to concern yourself with.
Correct. And then the second thing you want to go to the next tab is called Sync. Now, once you set this stuff up, and I'm showing you this because this is what I didn't do, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is. I don't know where that is. I don't understand this. So this is just, I'm going to lay it out as basic as I possibly can because the easier it is when you first set it up, the more you will use it and incorporate it into your life, okay? So you got the sync notifications, which means I want it to sync whenever I set it to. Synchronize changes on exit, so I want it to do that. Synchronize in the background. Synchronize automatically every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or hour, and I think on the Mac you can change it for less time. Like I think on the Mac it has a 5-minute window. You don't want to change your phone setting because it'll just burn the crap out of your battery. So I'd leave it wherever it is when you first download the phone app. And then there's just an automatic, there's a sync button when you get to your phone that you can just hit sync and it'll sync everything for you, and then it's not continually running that sync function for your Droid or your iPhone, okay? So I have mine set to 15 minutes, but here's the cool thing. There's a sync button right here, so I can push sync anytime I want, and Paul and I are going to show you some demos of shared docs that we use just to play around with to show you how easy it is to share stuff, okay? The next one is the note. This shows you what kind of editor font you want when you take the notes. You can change this. I leave it as default just because it's just easier. There's a couple other choices you can have here. Always show PDF documents as attachments. I'm going to show you what that means. I don't want that to show as an attachment. I want to be able to do what I want to do. So that's there. Some hotkeys. We're not going to cover this too much today, but there's a ton of hotkeys in this thing, kind of like Google is, where you hit this and hit that, and this happens, and you hit this and hit that, and that happens. So you can set these restore defaults, or you can change them however you want and add them. Okay. And then you have your language, of course, English, and then I just leave all this default as well. All right?
Hey, Scotty, while I've got you
Yeah.
on this screen, a couple of people are saying they missed where you went for that options menu. Can you show again where you
The
go to the
tools.
tools and
Yep.
then options? Yeah, if you could for us.
Tools and options. Yep. Yep. Tools right here in the top, and then options.
Excellent.
All right.
And
Cool.
another great question comes in. Are we ready? Can we throw a couple of questions in that are topic
Absolutely, man. Love
related?
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yep.
James has a really good question, and I
Okay.
think I know the answer, but I like to hear you kind of come back with these. Do you use Evernote in addition to Dropbox or in place of? Can you kind of talk on some of the differences and what the two offer?
Yeah, the big difference between Evernote and Dropbox. Dropbox is hosted in the clouds, which means it's out there in outer space in the internet, but it also takes up space on your computer and it's on your computer, okay? Evernote is 100% in the clouds, 100%. So for example, let me just show you, and that's the big difference between the two is if I was to take a document and put it in Evernote and then delete it from my computer, it's still in Evernote, but it's not on my desktop anymore. You guys with me? That's the big difference. Now, the other differences are, of course, Dropbox is, and we should probably do a class on Dropbox. Dropbox is awesome, and it's available on all platforms, but it is attached to your computer. So that's the big difference. But I use both a ton, more so Evernote than I do Dropbox. All right.
Very cool.
But I have, God, how much do I have in Dropbox? I have 204 gig in Dropbox. So that it's a lot. So I can't say that I don't use it, but I use it a lot. Now this is more for like keeping track of stuff that's going on, stuff that like clients that I'm working with, projects I'm working with. You can see this. I mean, I have all kinds of different, I have all kinds, let's see, where's it at? My stuff. I have all kinds of different things going on here. And it's PowerPoints, Word docs, conversations, notes I want to take care of. So that's the different things that I keep track of here. Dropbox is more like a set it and leave it, and then I know it's there, and then I create folders for each. So a little bit of both, I would say. I can't say that there's one good, but the one big thing is it does remove it from your computer if you want to, if it's in Evernote. Okay. All right, the toolbar, we're going to cover the toolbar just a little bit. So you got your file, which is you got your new note, which we're going to cover. You got a new tag, which we're going to cover, new notebook. And then, of course, if you want to import stuff, export stuff, all kinds of stuff there. Page setup, I really don't spend a whole lot of time here except for the new notebook. There's a couple different places to do that. Edit, of course, the undo button is always nice. If you get into a trap like, crap, I didn't want to do that, you can click undo. That's probably the only thing there. View, you can play around with this. You're not going to hurt anything. Just know that this is going to change how you see your notes and how you see your notebooks and how you see the different things that are showing. You see I have all of mine checked. So that's just up to you how you want to view your Evernote when you're on your computer. Notes, nothing there. Format, paragraph, nothing there. Tools tab, here's another one, is clipping preferences. So when you click on clicking preferences, there's really nothing here. You selected default notebook, and you can actually choose which notebook. My default notebook is inbox, so everything I clip, everything I send to Evernote goes to my inbox, and then from there I can sort it. Now the cool thing that I say about that is when you have a million different things that come in, like if I was to upload a new document to Evernote, it's going to go to my inbox, and then from my inbox I would sort it from there and put it in whatever folder that I wanted to put it in. Because I always want one place for my new notes. But always, you can have all notes right here and see all of them all the time anyway. So you can see that I have a ton of different notes here. All right? Any questions on that?
No, I haven't filtered all the way through them all, but I will stop you
Okay.
if I get to
Okay.
one that needs answering on that.
Okay. So the one cool thing, and I'm gonna stick with my part. So we're gonna kind of go over this here. Let me just finish this up. So sync button. Every time every time I put something there, it's not important if I'm going to be here at my computer for a while that it syncs every single second. So I don't necessarily have to sit the sync because I know it's going to do it every 15 minutes. Now, if I want to make sure that I'm leaving and I want to make sure all my notes I put in there because I have them like an appointment or I'm going to a listing presentation, I'm going to work with a buyer, and I want to make sure that I have that folder set up. I want to make sure it's there for my phone so I can start taking notes when I get there. And I'm going to meet with them in like 5 minutes or something. Then I would want to click the sync button. You can click this thing anytime you want. A little window comes up, connecting, retrieving, and it's going to say done. Okay? New note. Here's another way to do a new note, a new ink note, new audio note, new webcam. Probably won't use this. What you're going to see is when I click a new note, it's going to open up a new window here, and it's going to give you, literally, you can do every single thing you want in this note. I can put a picture in here, like just for example, let me just go to Google really quick. This is pretty cool. So say that I want to put a picture in here. Google. Just going to start having a little fun with this. So really kind of we're to a point now where, all right, let's go to images. I'm going to go to the White House. Can't wait for that debate tonight. Is everybody excited about the debate tonight? It's going to be some fun stuff. So save image. I'm just going to save image so I can show you. I'm going to call it White House, and I'm going to click it on my downloads. Already exists, so I'm going to just save it again. Now here's the cool part. See how this, and I don't know if you guys knew that it worked like this, but this thing is sitting right here. So if I take it, left click on it, and drag. See how I'm dragging it? Can you guys see me drag? And I drag it over my Evernote. It pops open Evernote, okay? And I'm going to drop it into this note because this is a note inside a notebook, okay? There's the White House. Now that is now inside my Evernote system. You guys see that? You see that okay?
Hold on. Let me see where you're at. Yes.
Okay. So now the cool part is I have a picture in here. Say this is a picture of a home that your buyer looked at and you took it on your phone and you want to go, all right, this is 1, 2, 3 test drive. Very nice 54 bedroom home on 100 acres. All right? They love the walk-in closet. 5,000 square foot walk-in closet. All right? So there's the note there. I can put links in here if I want to. If I want to put anything I want to do, I can put in there. Now, that's the cool part. So notes, links, I can change the text if I want to. If I want to underline it, I want to change the color because it's important. I want to change the size of it, so I can change it to 24 if I want to. Anything that I want to do inside this note is 100% okay. Here's the cool part. Say that I want to record a voice message inside of this note right here because I want to talk about it to myself and make sure that I get in words what I'm thinking, okay? Click the little microphone button, click record. See how the little thing's going across the screen? I can now record. I'll click record, and now I'm recording my voice inside this note on my computer talking about the White House and the what's going to happen tonight at this debate and who's going to win. It's going to be fun to watch, and it's just fun watching debates, right? And then I click save. And now here it pops open a little note inside my note that I've already created with the picture, text, and now I have an audio note inside here that if I click sync, this is where it gets crazy. I'm clicking sync now. It's synchronizing. Synchronize complete. Now if I go to my phone and click on this note, everything that I just did inside this note will be there. Or if I'm sharing this note with Paul, everything that I do inside this note, Paul will have access to. All right, is that crazy?
Chuck is saying, wait, show that record again, please. And I'm not sure which one he was asking you to show again.
The little voice microphone right here.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that was your audio recording thing.
So you guys can hear the recording right inside the note.
I use that. I use the mobile audio note
Yeah.
all the time.
Yep.
And what I do is, I know you guys don't care about this, but I will say things, I'll take a picture of a fish I just caught, and then I'll add an audio note. Tide was this, time of day was this, what kind of bait I caught it on. And I'll tell you what, over the last 6 months, I've started to put together quite a little captain's log of little events that are happening.
Events, absolutely. Now, if you're like a graphs type person or a checkbox type person, see this little checkbox right here? You can actually click that, and it'll put a little checkbox and pick up the milk on the way home. And the next one is call daughter about appointment. So, and then you can just check the box when you want to. So you can do that. You can do. There's a graph if you like graphs. See this little graph thing right here? If I right-click on it, if I left-click and then click Options, it'll ask me how many rows. So I want 4 rows and I want 3 columns. And table width 100%. Click OK. Now I have a graph inside here where I can build a graph of whatever I want to have in there. So if you're, I don't know, doing an Excel spreadsheet or some sort, you want to do a real quick note of a graph or something, you can do that as well. So, I mean, it's endless what you can do with this thing. Now, see how this note is like number 1 right here, and I click on All Notes, it's right here? Say that I want to create a notebook. Now, let me just go back to my thing here.
Hey, real quick,
so,
while you're doing that, Scotty, quick question. A couple of people regarding sharing. Does the other person have to be using Evernote to be able to share?
No, and I'm going to get to that. No, they don't have to be using Evernote. They can have it so they don't even have to log into Evernote.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to cover that. So let me cover really quick the note, the notebook, and the stack. Okay. So a note is just like a note like you would take on a piece of paper, a single item stored in Evernote. You organize by folders or tabs. Okay. So it's just a regular note. A notebook is just as it is, a notebook with all your notes inside of it. So you have a notebook. Say for example, you have recipes, and you have Thanksgiving recipes and Christmas recipes and all kinds of different notes. So, or a notebook would be clients, and you'd have buyers, sellers, and inside the buyer you would have James Brown and the Smith family and the Banner family and the Baxter family and all those little notes inside your notebook. That's the same thing. And then a stack is exactly what it is. It's a stack of notebooks. So like you could have all kinds of different notebooks inside one folder, and I'm going to show you that. So I just want to explain that really quick. Those are really the 3 main things you have to know about. So a note is just what it is, just taking a note on a little white piece of paper or yellow. Notebook is all your notes inside one notebook, and then a stack is a bunch of notebooks inside one big folder. Okay? Make sense? Does that come out okay?
Yes.
Paul Meister? Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to talk about the sharing here, but let me just go really quick. So let me cover this really quick. So I have this new note, and I have my stuff. So here's my stuff. So where does this, let's just say that I'm going to put it inside funny stuff. So I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but this is like your house as seen by, and then it shows you your house, and then it shows you how the buyer sees it, and then it shows you your lender, how your lender sees it, and then it shows you your appraiser, how your appraiser sees it. If you guys want to copy this, just let me know. It's pretty funny. And then your county tax assessor, how they see it. I love that thing. So, all right, so funny stuff. So I'm going to go back to all my notes, and all I have to do to put this inside one of my notebooks, because these are all notebooks, is to drag it. So I'm going to left-click, see how it's blue, and I'm going to drag it to funny stuff. Boom, done. So it still stays in all my notes, but if I click on funny stuff, I have the note that I shared with you, which is over here now, and then, of course, the other funny thing that I shared with you. So I have 2 notes inside funny stuff that are now part of a notebook that I called funny stuff. Make sense?
Yep.
Really super simple. All right. Say that I want to create a new notebook, and I want to call my notebook, I want to call it buyers. Okay? So I'm going to come up here. One is I can do it inside here. I can right-click and create a notebook, or I can go File, New Notebook, and let's just call it Buyers. Okay? A couple different options you have. Local notebook, that means that maybe some personal stuff you don't want to put out there that has no chance of people seeing. It's just a local notebook, so it only is on this computer. You can't get it on anything else. Synchronized notebooks means that I want it available on all my devices all the time. That's 99%. I don't have any local notebooks. I have all of them synchronized. Okay? And then if you want to make a default notebook, like everything that comes in here goes into the default notebook, you can do that, or and it's not set in stone that you keep it there. You can always change it, okay? So I'm going to just click Buyers. And now I have what's called a buyer's notebook. Now, you know that inside I have everything that goes inside my all notes is, let's see, where'd it go? Let's see, I have a buyer's, where'd it go? Right there. Okay, so there's buyers. I have nothing in there, and I want to put a note inside my buyers. So let's just start a new note. So I want to call this note the Smith family. All right? So I could start adding notes of the buyer that I'm talking to, seller that I'm talking to, and it's automatically going to save inside the buyer's note, all right, because the note inside buyers. And I can start a new note. There's another note, so now I have the Smith family, plus I have another note. So you can start taking notes upon notes, upon notes, upon notes, okay? One note, there's ways to combine the two, but I'm not going to kind of go there. But so that's kind of how you do that. Now, say that I want to create one that's the Smith family that I want to put as the buyers. Like, so I want to have a Smith family underneath the buyers. A little confusing, but I just want to throw stuff at you so you can kind of do whatever you want. So I want to have a new notebook, and I want to have it the Smith family because I want to keep its own notebook. Click OK. Oops, that already is this. So let's call it the Baxter family. All right. I'm going to create a notebook for you, brother. All right, so now I have the Baxter family and I have buyers. So say that I want to create a trunk, all right? Did I say that right? I probably didn't. A stack. Say that I want to create a stack. So all I have to do to put these two together, because the Baxter family is part of the buyers, all I have to do, if I slide this over the Baxter family, it's going to create a notebook stack. Now, the notebook stack could be anything I want, but I want it to be, I want to rename the notebook stack, okay? So I want that to be for clients 101, all right? Or buyer clients, or whatever you want it to have. Buyer clients, whatever you want it to be. So now I have Baxter family buyers, and I can change whatever this name is too. I can change buyers to the Smith family if I want. So however you want to set this up is like 100% okay, unless you already have the name. So I'm going to rename it Smith Family 1. There you go. So I got buyer clients, Baxter family. So underneath this stack, and then it's separated by this little arrow here. And then these little arrows show you the different stacks that you have. So you can get really organized. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can have just notebooks along here. You could have just notebooks and no stacks if you wanted to. You could have, however you want to set it up. So as you start using this thing, you'll get a feel for like what works best for you and how you can stay more organized, okay? Now, here's where it gets really fun is I'm going to show you how to set up an email. And Evernote gives you a personal email that you can email to that automatically puts stuff in your Evernote folder, okay? Do you ever use this, Paul? I love this. So, for example, if you click on Tools and you click on Account Info, it's going to pop open what your email address is. So here's my email for my Evernote account. So it's shutspeth.59791. And of course you're going, holy crap, he's showing us the email for his account. I can change that anytime I want because as you can see, it's just a bunch of numbers and then at m.evernote.com. So if I was to send an email to shutspeth.59791 at m.evernote.com, it would automatically get put inside my default folder inside my Evernote account. Okay? Pretty cool. So for example, say that you get an email from a borrower and you're like, perfect, I want to put it in my Evernote account underneath that borrower. Whatever the folder name is, so for example, if I open this up, I don't know if you knew this, Paul. So my folder, the Smith family, if I put in the subject of the email going to my Evernote email, it would throw it inside my Smith family account or my Smith family notebook. Is that crazy? So as long as you put whatever the subject is of the exact name of the folder, it'll put it in that folder for you. All right? So here's how you set it up so you can really easily send an email to your Evernote. So you go to Gmail. I'm going to just go show you Gmail. I'm sure you can do this in Outlook. So you click on Contacts, click on the Gmail, click on Contacts, and then what you do is you click on New Contact, and then I'm going to call the contact Evernote. All right? So my contact is Evernote, and then the email address is the shutspeth.59791 at m.evernote.com. And then I'm going to save it, and I'm just going to call this Evernote 1 because I already have one of these. So Evernote 1, I'm going to save it. So now it's saved as a contact. And then when I go to send an email or forward an email from one of my members, all I do is click on Gmail. And as you can see, it takes some time with this. If I click Compose and I put in Evernote, you can see that I have an Evernote account and I have Evernote 1, the one that I just set up. So I don't have to remember what that email is. I call it a contact name so I can really easily type it in. If you call it Evernote, you'll know that that's where the email is. And now I can send an email very easily with the subject line of Smith family. And I can send a note, make sure to call Paul when on Friday for his inspection. All right, and I send it. That might not have been the right email address, actually. Did I do that right? Account info 59791. I think it was. Let's see if I did it right. EVER 59791. Yeah, I did. So eventually, it'll show up in my Evernote account as an email, and it should be, if I did it right, inside the Smith family folder. All right. So, and I don't know how long the email takes, but that's how you set up your email for it. So you get a free email. Now, here's how to change the email if you want to change it. So you, this is the cool part. If you go to evernote.com, any questions on that part?
Answering some questions ahead of it, but
Okay, cool.
no, not so far.
Okay, so when you go to Evernote.com, it has a web sign-in because when you sign up for Evernote, you get a login and password. It's the same login and password as the one that you actually log in on all your mobile devices and all your laptops and desktops, okay? So you want a web sign-in, and when you do it, you use the same login and password as you did to sign up. So whatever, usually your email and then your password, okay? So I'm already signed in. So you'll notice over on the right-hand side, it has my name. And then it has a little drop-down arrow. So you click the drop-down arrow, you click on Settings. Say you're getting a bunch of spam in your email for some reason, and you probably won't, but if you do, you just go here, and then you click Reset Email for your Evernote folder. All right? And if you click Reset, it'll reset it. All right? Really super simple, right? And if you ever have to go to a computer and that it doesn't have Evernote and you don't want to download all your stuff to the Evernote folder, you can always go to Evernote.com and still you'll see all my folders here just the same as if I was on my desktop version. So for some reason you don't have any of your devices and you're on a computer and you have say you're on vacation on a cruise or something, you want to log on, you go to Evernote.com, you can still see all your notes, you can still get all your notes and email all your notes. So let's go into Shearing. And so up here on the top you have an account. Here's all my accounts. And then here's my shared folders. So say that I want to share the Smith family folder, okay? All I do is right-click on it, and it says Share Notebook. See that? All right. So click Share on Notebook, and it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to go, this is probably a bad example. Let me go back. Let me go to Demo AMM. This is a blank folder, but let me just share on this, Share Notebook. And here's what you'll see first. It says Individual, Invite Individually. So I can invite one person or 10 people, or I can create a public link for the actual folder, which is what you would probably want to do so that they don't have to log into. So if I invite individually, allow notebook preview without requiring login. So check that if they don't have an Evernote account, which they probably won't. And then I'll put their email address in here, and then the options you're going to have if you're not a paid user are View Notes and View Notes and Activity. Okay? Really super simple. If you want to create a public link, all you do is click Public Link, and it's going to give you a link that, like, you could go there right now. There's no notes in there, but you can go to evernote.com/pub/hutspeth/demo-amm, and it would take you to this note so you could see it. All right? And you can always delete the public link if you want to once you get there, or you can edit it. You can change the domain name if you wanted, the URL. I mean, whatever you want to do, there's all kinds of different stuff. Okay? So
Now,
Paul and I had...
I was just going to say, make sure that you're just mention that there's some of the sharing functions that you were showing are only, there's a couple of things that you can only do on the paid version. The free version allows you to share, but it doesn't allow the sharee, the person you share with, to be able to update or make notes or change anything on that note. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah. You get the View Notes and the View Notes and Activity. What you don't get without the paid version is the Modify Notes and Modify Invite Others. So with $45 a year, one-time fee, you get the Modify Notes and then the Modify and Invite Users, but the other person has to have the paid version as well. Okay? So if you got a team, 2 people, and you want to share notes, or you just give the same login and password, that'd probably be easier. But if you did have 2 separate note accounts, which would probably be best, it's going to cost you $90 a year total for the whole year to have 2 paid accounts and be able to modify notes, work on notes, edit notes, and invite others to the thing, so you can invite others to the party.
Hey, Scotty, a couple of people,
Yep.
both Doug and Randall both mentioned when you were saving your note to go to the correct folder, they both said that after you put the subject line, if you put a couple of spaces and then the @ symbol, the
Okay.
@ symbol like in an email, and
Yep.
then the notebook name, no spaces, it will
Okay.
drop it into
Okay.
the notebook that you specified. So thank you
Okay.
guys.
That's what I was trying.
Very cool
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. So what they're saying. Let me just get this straight. So on the email, well, let's just go to an email. So I'll make sure I get this right. So Evernote. So I click 759791. So I click that, and then right here, if I put who was that? Can we unmute them? So I get this right.
Yeah, you've got either you've got Doug Ranger or Randall Brennan. Both of those guys made
Doug
the
Ranger.
same post at the same time.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool. Doug. Do you see? Oh, there. Doug Ranger. Okay, cool. Let me just unmute him. Hey, Doug, you there, buddy?
I am. How are you, Scotty?
Good,
Hi,
sir. How are
Paul.
you?
I'm doing well,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
you joining us today.
How you doing,
Thank
Bosco?
you. I
Thanks for
love
being
it
here
all
with
the
us.
time. In the subject, you can have your standard subject, whatever it's pertaining to, without the ad. Drop
Without the and? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You go ahead and put in the subject. This is new clients or client's name or whatever, and then a
Okay.
couple of spaces,
Okay.
and then use the @ symbol, and then the name of your folder or your notebook. No spaces.
Okay, so I would be Smith family. No spaces. Smith family like that?
If that's the correct name of your notebook, yes. It will drop
Let's
it
see,
in
Smith
your
family.
notes and in the
Okay.
specified notebook. It's cool.
Sweet.
I use that a
Okay,
lot.
cool. Isn't that amazing what this system does?
It is.
I mean, do you have the paid version then?
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay, cool. So you just upload. So do you use it as a you're a real estate agent, right?
I am.
Okay, so do you use it for each borrower or each seller, or how are you using it as an agent?
I'm using this just for some of my buyers if I need a note in there or something, or if I'm actually on the web and there's something, or an email I received and it's something special that I want to take out of my gold mine, and I'll just go ahead and email it to Evernote, leave the subject in there, and then do the @ and drop it right in the notebook. It is awesome.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I was talking to a pest inspection guy the other day. I'm like, he has this iPad app, and I'm like, okay, how do you do notes and how do you do this? They're like, well, we don't have that, and I go, well, you really do. You just don't know it, So I was showing him some of this stuff where he can have all that stuff right in Evernote, pull it up, take notes on each client. He submits them. He does he submits a inspection within 2 hours. I go, how do you do it? He goes, with the iPad. So it's just one more way to impress. And the cool part is, like, do you email your notes to your clients once you have them?
I don't. I don't take notes
Okay.
when I'm out. But
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Yeah. So let's
Keep
see.
it
Here's here's the note that just came in. Here's the email test note for Evernote. Now, for some reason, I didn't put it in the Smith family. I wonder if because I don't have I didn't put a space in there, but it didn't.
That
put
makes
it
a
in there
difference.
for some reason.
It
Oh, it does.
definitely, yes, absolutely makes a difference.
So, for example, EVERNOTE. So I want to put clients. So do I have to put clients in there, or can I just put the @
No. Just whatever the subject of the notes, whatever your content is.
Okay.
No, if you don't, if
so,
you want to just go directly there, that's fine. But if you wanted to know what the subject is of the what are you sending them?
Oh, I see. So, but so like @ Smith family, that'll put it inside my thing. Oh, I see
Right.
what you're saying.
Then while you're right there, if you do a couple more spaces to the right, and you use a pound sign, then you can use tags, so you're searchable.
Okay.
I'm probably getting ahead of it.
Okay. Nice. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
You
I want to
can
try
have
to
as
keep
many
it as
tags
basic as
on there as you want.
So would I do buyer separated by commas?
No comma, just space.
No comma, just space.
Just a space
and
then another pound sign and another tag.
And let's cover that before we get done here. So.
So you could search for any word that's in that document. It would find it.
Okay. So let me see if that works. If I put the space in there, let's see if that works here. It seems like it works pretty fast. So the first one came in. There's the first one that came in. Now I could really easily drag it into the Smith family if I wanted to. And now it's in the Smith family in the notes, which is really cool. So the tags, I'm glad you brought that up, Doug. I appreciate you bringing that up. So
Sure.
that's actually in the PowerPoints. Do you are you okay staying unmuted?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, feel free to share anything and jump in whatever you want.
Okay.
So the tags, say you have a note. So say I have the Smith family and I want to create a tag. See right here it says click to add tag. What the tags do, you'll see that under tags I have agents, cottage flyer, Hootsuite post, listing, sellers, tax info, whatever you want there, whatever you tag this as. So let's just tag this as a, let's tag something that's not there. Buyer, there's one tag. So you'll see the buyer tag come up over here. So every note you tag as a buyer is going to be under the buyer tags. See how that works? So you can shorten up, because if you have a million different notes, you can, and then everything you tag with buyer in it will show up under there. So that makes it nice. Now the other thing you can do is it has a pretty awesome search function. Say you want to search everything that has, every note that has to do with buyers. Of course, I only have one. That will show up. That will show up the note. So let's just say I have, let's just search something else here. What's something else I have a lot of? Let's go with the other thing that's really cool. It'll actually search the words inside a PDF document, which is just crazy. I don't know how it does that.
While
So
you're
for
looking for that,
example,
Matt Murphy
yeah.
just had a fantastic idea that he posted. He said, what about using Evernote instead of a hard copy message book for the phone receptionist uses? Just label each one of them for the specific recipient and properly share them with it, just kind of as an email share. It's a great idea for using Evernote,
Yeah, that's
because
a great
then
idea.
all of those phone messages that came into the receptionist, you don't ever lose one. You don't have to thumb back through 16 books. You do a simple search to find a specific
Yeah,
person or name or phone number. That's a great idea, Matt. Thanks for sharing, buddy.
absolutely, absolutely. So what he's saying is create a notebook, right? Notebook, phone messages. Phone messages. So now I have a notebook called phone messages. I'm going to remove it from this. Export, share, remove from stack. So now I have phone messages right here. Right there. So every note, so new note would be Doug was on the call with us and shared the email format. Done. Save. So now that's part of the deal. So I go to a new note. I want a new one. So then you have, and then you can take notes inside the people that call, the phone number, whatever. That's a great idea. Then
That's
you can share this
fantastic.
folder with your whole team.
Really good
You
stuff.
can share that folder
Hey,
with your whole
Scotty,
team.
quick
Yeah,
question that a couple of people are asking. Is there a way inside of Evernote to schedule a task around a specific note? Like if I want a note to come back up, or I put a note in there, call Mama on the 17th, and I want that note to pop up when I come in, or to give me some sort of reminder. Is there a
I don't
reminder
know
type
of any
thing?
way to do that. I don't know of any way to do that. Doug, do you know if Evernote has that feature?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, that's
You
that's
might
a
go
great
to help
question. I
menu.
don't think it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that. Reminder. Let's just see if it has a reminder.
Or would it be part of a to-do list?
You can have a to-do list, but I don't know if it's going to send you. Oh my, that reminder does. Ability to set reminders on notes. Let's see what this says. So even though the due date comes, change the created date to the date you want to do the task. My preferred method. Oh, so you can create, okay. Or right-click on the note in the notes list and copy the link, paste the link into a new note, add some supporting text if needed, change the created date. So you could put the date that you want to create it on inside the note, so then you could search for that date maybe. But it's not. I don't think it's going to have a pop-up. It doesn't look like. Yeah. So that's the great question though. Great question. All right. Any other? Hey, Doug, where are you out of?
Thousand Oaks, California. Steve Garrigan.
No kidding. Awesome, man. I really appreciate you joining us, man. That's awesome.
I'm on every Tuesday.
I appreciate.
look
So
forward to it.
Yeah. Do you come on as a team, or are you just by yourself?
By myself.
By yourself. Okay.
I'm
good.
a real estate
Awesome.
broker as well. I'm with Remax, but I also do property management through Ranger Realty.
Okay. Okay. Good for you. I appreciate you being here. So
I appreciate
any,
you and all the information you bring us constantly.
Yeah. No. It's I tell you, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. So
I'm a geek when it comes to that too.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. All right, so just so everybody knows, a lot of people on the call today. I'm going to just go to the last slide here. Got that, and I'll make sure just get with your loan officer to get a copy of this. But we're going to have Frank Gray on next Tuesday. He's got a great class for us. So Frank Gray from TBWS out in your neck of the woods, Doug. So he's going to be on the call with us, and
Okay.
I'm expecting a sellout crowd there. He's always puts on a great show, and he's going to get up early and do early not to them. I think they're up at 5 every morning out there doing their show. But he's going to be on, going to show us some video stuff, and I'm not sure what it is, so I'm going to have to ask him how to even put the invite together. So that'll be fun. And then I also want to let you guys know that on the 20, let me go to my calendar. We have a great person coming on. I believe it's the November, let's see, it's not the 6th. What is it, November, I think it's the 6th, or is it the 13th? 6th or the 13th, I think it's the 13th. We're going to have another lady on that is just amazing. She's a LinkedIn specialist. So about a month from now, we'll have her on, and she'll show us some amazing stuff to do with LinkedIn. She's going to give us the basics on that, so we can all get our LinkedIn profiles looking good.
Just a couple of housekeeping things as I'm trying to keep up with the questions, and it looks like the same questions being put in multiple. I probably got 70 of the same question in here. If you would like a copy of today's presentation, either the recording or the PowerPoint or both, all you need to do is just contact the loan officer who invited you or that you registered on their link. They'll be able to provide the recording and the PowerPoints for this, past, and future classes for you. So for those of you who are asking about a replay and the PowerPoint slides, simply contact the loan professional who invited you here. They'll be happy to provide you with that information and get you set up on where the replay link is and get you the PowerPoint so you can start putting this together yourself.
Hey, Doug, and I got one last question for Doug, and then we'll call it quits if you don't mind, Doug.
Not at all.
Hey, so what would you say, out of all the classes, what would be one of your biggest things that you've implemented as a team or as a group or as yourself that you think has been the biggest benefit to you of all the stuff we covered? And maybe something little, maybe something big. I just thought I would ask if you have one thing.
That's putting me on the spot because I
know it is. I know. I'm putting you on the spot there.
Even though these are available, I use Jing and I do screenshots. And sometimes you're going so fast, I'm doing screenshots of things so that I have them on my computer. And each week I have a category.
Okay.
I know you've done. Oh gracious! I know Google. I use Google Gmail a lot, but I also use Goldmine. But I'm using Google more and more. But there are just so many, I'd have to go back in and refresh my memory.
No, it's great. So the big thing is just to keep track is the Jing project is that your favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, Jing project, yeah. It's one
but it's going away, I guess.
Yeah, well, well, Paul knows that better than I do, but I think the one where you can record is going away, but the standard Jing is always going to be there, correct, Paul?
Yes, yeah. The Pro version went away because what they had, TechSmith is the people who developed that, and what they had is they had Snagit and they had Jing, and they were trying to sell. They were trying to have both, meaning they had Jing as the free version, Snagit was always the paid version, and then Jing had a Pro version, which was still a little limited compared to what Snagit's Pro version was. So what they did, they figured, you know what, nobody's buying the Jing Pro. We had very little sales on it, so they thought they'd go away with it. Now, if you haven't downloaded Jing prior to January 2013, you may not be able to get Jing. You may have to, because
really?
you're not going to be able to get to the free download. It's not going to go away if you have it. Your screencast account isn't going to go away. If you've got Jing, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to not work for you any longer. But if you don't have it downloaded on your computer by January 2013, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, I have the paid version, but I haven't even checked because I rarely use the actual video portion of it.
Okay. And that I think the only thing it does is let you go over 5 minutes on videos, and well, quite frankly, you don't want to go over 5 minutes on videos anyway.
2 minutes is good enough. Yeah.
I'm on a MacBook Pro, so I would actually go in and use ScreenFlow on the Mac side.
Okay, yeah, and that's just as good, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I do my movies and everything over there. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and you can capture yourself on the screen. You can capture yourself on a video camera. You can talk. You pick up the computer all at once.
And now
It's
what's that
amazing.
called?
It's ScreenFlow. It's only for Macs.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's like
I gotta.
$99. It's phenomenal.
Okay. ScreenFlow for Mac users.
Right.
So if you're a Mac user, try out ScreenFlow.
Right.
Hey, I got a question. Do you still have iSight for Mac in the Evernote? Is that available still? I was reading some stuff where they took it away. It's called iSight, where you can pull up your camera and record that as well.
Yeah, that still works.
Does it still work? Okay, because yeah, we don't have it on a PC yet, I guess. So
Yeah,
I guess
that's on there. I use a MacBook Pro, but I'm using Boot Camp, and because 99% of my work is on PC, so I use my MacBook Pro using XP Pro.
XP Pro.
I'm
Okay. Okay.
on a PC side right now.
Okay. Okay. So, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what Brother Carl does too. He bought a Mac, but he uses
It's the
PC,
best
so.
of both worlds.
It is the best. Yeah.
If
Good
I'm
for you.
doing movies, because I do video home tours as well.
Awesome. I would love to see one, man. If you want to share one on the group, or if
Okay.
you know what I would love, Doug, if you ever want to do a class with us and share like how you're doing that and what you're doing and what you're using, I would love to have you on the call. I know it's, again, putting you on the spot, and I'm not going to, it can be a month, 2 months down the road or whatever, but, and if you don't want to, that's fine too. I would totally understand. So, yeah, I would love to share your
I'd certainly
insight on
consider
that. Okay, cool. Good. All right, everybody. Doug, man, I sincerely appreciate you joining us today and sharing your insight on Evernote. Of course, we as a team are much, much stronger together as, me trying to do everything and learn everything. So I use it. I just may not use it as efficiently as you do. So that's where just us being together and you sharing how you're using it and
That's what
everybody else
makes these
asking
classes
questions makes
work.
this
Is
thing
it?
so fun. Yeah.
Isn't that what makes this
Yeah,
whole
it's
thing
just
work? Is when you get to, that's what
100%.
masterminding is about. Is you get some people with an
Yep.
idea, and then you share the idea. Oh, I've tried this, and hey, what about this way? And that's
Yeah.
when it becomes a masterminding event. Great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So all I can say is join our group, facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind. Download Evernote. Make a commitment to use it once, twice, 3 times a day, or for everything you do. I'm telling you, if you, it's going to be hard because it's change. It's using something that you're not used to. My wife, it's killing her not to have a notepad. She is a notepad freak, and she still has, and I have one here, but I never use these. People put them on my desk when somebody calls or something, but and I do have this just for really quick notes, and then I transfer them into Evernote if for some reason I'm not at my computer or something. But but the cool part about this is you can actually take a picture of the note, and I'm being told that it will actually search the words inside the picture. I've never tried that yet, but Doug,
Absolutely. All the word.
that's
If you
what they
take a
say.
picture,
That's what they
if you
say.
take a picture of a menu, I've tried it with a menu before at a restaurant, and then
Okay.
search filet mignon. Boom, brings up that menu
Yeah.
thing. Awesome stuff.
So
Really cool.
if you go to Evernote, take a picture of business cards. There's no need to keep business cards in your pocket. Snap the shot of it. Put it inside your business card folder. You have business cards.
And now the words are searchable.
I can't. Every single thing you do can be put in this Evernote thing. So I appreciate everybody joining us today, Paul. I appreciate you, brother, for being here and all your insight that you bring to the class. And I love just going back and forth with everybody on the call. So if you ever have anything to share, please let us know. We'll get you on the call. We'll unmic you and talk about what you're doing that's helping get more people into homes, because really that's what it's all about, is helping you be more successful by helping more people get into homes, and then we all just have a good life. So, Doug, and sincerely appreciate you coming on the call with us today.
Absolutely. Doug, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, and Randall as well. He was sharing that knowledge as well. Thank you, everybody, for the ideas.
Thank you so much.
Glad to.
All right, everybody have a great week, safe week. Halloween's just around the corner. Love to see some outfits. Post them on the fan page if you will. We'll have a little fun there too. If you have any questions, be sure to go to facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind. Don't be shy. If you're shy, we can't help you. Just let it go. Put it out there. There's no stupid question. Believe me. I've asked many. There's just no such thing. So, and we can't help if you don't ask. So please do. And next week, Frank Garay. Everybody have a great week, safe week, and exciting week. Paul?
Scotty,
Talk to you soon, man.
have a great
Take
week,
care.
my friend, and we'll see you guys right back here, same time, same place next week, right here on the web. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thanks. Bye-bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be